March madness begins. March is the craziest, most intense and happening month in 2025. We're going to have two eclipses. We're going to have Venus and Mercury going retrograde. We're going to have Neptune moving into Aries. Bam, bam, bam. Each one of those events is big astrological events. Put all five together, and I called it March Madness. So this is very important to watch, to be prepared. The layers will be shifting, the directions of our lives with eclipses, fated events get activated in our lives. With retrograde planets, we turn direction, we start changing how we feel, think, and feel about something. With eclipses, we totally derail the train onto another direction, basically. So, wow. And it's all happening in Aries, around the Aries area. But actually, to know specifically how this is going to affect you, you can, even if you're not looking at this video, you can just go to my transit calendar, personal transit calendar at astrolada.com, enter your birth details. No one else in the world will have the same transits like you have. These videos that I do for each of the 12 signs, they're just for your ascendant sign or sun sign or moon sign. But this calculator calculates every position of the planet in your horoscope. Is it Saturn? Is it Mercury? Is it Venus? And it gives you the transits that you're going to have day by day. It's only free for 7 days, but each 7 days it gets updated. So you always see 7 days ahead, but you can open for a longer period. And if you want to see those eclipses, one in Virgo, one in Aries, will directly affect you, you can check. For example, this is my horoscope. The eclipse is directly affecting me. It's conjunct my Mercury. It will totally turn around anything connected with Mercury in my horoscope. And look how many extensive interpretations there are. Or what other transits will retrograde Venus directly? They affect you directly. You look at transits of Venus. Oh yes, retrograde Venus will be opposite my Jupiter. Retrograde Venus will be square trine my Uranus. You can see much more specifically than those videos how you will be affected. And of course, we end with Neptune in Aries. Crazy. The eclipse, I don't know what's going to happen with the world. Let me just be honest. There might be big revaluation of markets with those retrogrades, Mercury and Venus next to Saturn, next to Neptune, eclipse on the same degree. Some big news with wars and peace, because it's all happening in Aries. The world either getting in arms or disarming. I don't know which way it goes exactly. Big eclipse, lunar eclipse in Virgo. Virgo is the sign of the working class people, is the sign of the medical and hospital industries and the diseases as well. So where is going to hit us from? I don't know. This eclipse in Virgo is exactly opposite Saturn and opposite Neptune. So you have to be more careful with health, because this is the axis of illnesses, diseases as well, water, matters connected to water. But then all the action is also in Aries. So we have water, fire. Let's start. I'm not going to go for the whole world, but individually, because you're important, how you're going to deal with these energies in your life. And believe me, this is once in a year, very rare opportunity or lifetime to really reset in a big way a certain area of your life where all this action is happening, whatever areas is. Let's begin. And by the way, I have 5-hour video for Neptune in Aries for each one individually, only for personal predictions. It's only $20. It covers all possible transits Neptune can have to personal planets over the next 13 years, sextiles, trines, oppositions on Neptune through each house, and they're all full of personal stories that I've watched people for the last 20 years, how they overcome Neptune transit, what happens in their life. I give you many stories from the highest to the lowest, remedies how to deal with that, and I also explain to you how to find all the transits. Very easy, you don't need to know any astrology. This is my love of work, my work of love, sorry. Neptune's affecting me already. For you, if you'd like to get it, I'm putting a link below the description. Gemini Sun, Moon Rising, March 2025. The month starts with Venus going retrograde in your 11th house, Gemini, but it will be helping you with the sextile from there. So, and Mercury going retrograde in the middle of March from the 14th, 15th in your 11th house again at the same position, but again it will be helping you with the sextile. So these retrogrades of Venus and Mercury, unless you have of course planets in Aries or Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn will be, because then they'll be making more challenging aspects, Mercury and Venus retrograde. But otherwise, if you don't have planets in those cardinal signs, any other planets, it will be very harmonious and quite easygoing for most Geminis, or Geminis that don't have cardinal signs planets. But what does it mean, Venus and Mercury retrograde the whole month, or pretty much most of the month, in your 11th house? Well, you will rethink some social contacts. 11th house is a social house, our network, people that we follow online, people that follow us online, people that are friends in our everyday life, our colleagues, our extended circle, our business circle as well, our clients. So you see, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of people. Well, on the positive, Mercury, Venus, retrograde there, you can reconnect with friends you haven't seen or with clients. You might take some strategy, business plan to reconnect or to tap and to reach out to people that used to be your clients, or to rethink your business strategy, because the 11th house is a very business house. How to reach out, and the 11th house is very much connected to marketing, to reaching larger groups of people. And if you're in any kind of such fields, you might be doing some marketing strategic reevaluation, how to how to reach different people or more people in some way, or reevaluating your already existing business strategy, marketing. And there can be some adjustments to your business. But otherwise, you can also rethink. Maybe you might be like, I don't want to follow this person anymore. They put negative thoughts in my head. Or those friends, they're posting all about politics. They're really doing my head in. I don't want to see that. So some cleansing of social media, or how you present yourself to society is also the 11th house. If you're a public figure in any way, it's you rethink your strategy, how to connect to others, how to present yourself, what information to spread and not spread. So that can be this. And yeah, if Mercury and Venus in your personal horoscope are making hard aspects, it can feel stressful. Say, imagine some crisis with a friend or colleagues or clients or whatever. But otherwise, they really want to make your social environment more harmonious, more fair, more. Venus just wants it to be more peaceful, more beautiful, more good for your soul. So the ultimate goal is very good. And yes, if there's some delay to business projects or long-term projects, because the 11th house is goals, long-term projects, gains, financial gains as well, salaries, bonuses. There might be some delay there because of those two planets retrograde there. But it's again, maybe you're not seeing that this long-term project can be done in a better way, or there is something you're missing, or maybe it's being delayed because you'll be able to integrate some new technologies or some kind of new knowledge into it, or way of doing it that you're not seeing right now. And this slowing down, it's, so it's not completed. It's making you aware of other alternative ways to do some long-term goal or dream of yours. Your long-term goal might be, or dream might be, to be a ballerina. It might be to have a business. It might be to have a promotion at work. This 11th house is all our social and economic goals in life. So all the nice things we want, recognition from others, promotion, increase of salary, business gains, social, let's say, influence in some way. So you might rethink all of those things, find an alternative way to do them in a better, harmonious way, adjust something, reduce something. Yes, it can be frustrating that you have to readjust or do something, but believe me, you'll see that there is a better way to do it. Or you might be working on this project, so retrograde, it's like you've missed something. Come back to this long-term goal, a dream to yours, make it a bit better, make it a bit more perfect, more harmonious. Okay, but usually if you're not in any kind of such fields, maybe people from the past reconnect with you, you rethink certain social contacts and so on. And then they'll go retrograde in your 10th house, then towards the end of March and April, there can be a rethinking of career direction, career projects as well. So that will get more interesting, more intense, let's say, when they go back to Pisces. Then the other big event is that we have the first eclipse on the 14th of March, which is the same day Mercury goes retrograde, in your 4th house, Gemini. And especially the later degrees, Gemini, say from 20 to 26 degrees, sun, moon, or ascendant, the eclipse will directly square them, so they can feel a bit more ruffled from it. But its eclipse is a portal that wants to realign you to the right path, let's say. And it can do it in a surprising, fast, shocking way sometimes. And it's connected to home, place of living, property, real estate. And so you can, for example, if you've been looking for a while, you can find the real estate or sell, or you might suddenly surprise you have to move out or do something in your house that needs attention, or with the family members. And actually, Mercury rules your 4th house. It also rules your 1st house, and it's going to be retrograde, becoming retrograde on the same day. There is an eclipse in your 4th house. So this double whammy energy of the 4th house, towards the middle of the month, where you have to pay attention to your personal needs, to some family member, to parents, or to something to do with property, real estate, land, something that can shift in a big way. We have a planet turning retrograde that rules this house and a big eclipse there. So yeah, it might be for better, or you might consider it like a crisis or a stressful situation, but the ultimate goal again will realign you to the right path of your needs psychologically, of your personal life, of where you're supposed to live, or the family members. So they can be like some surprise with family members or whatever, just something to look out, or some secret coming out, or some information about your childhood or early childhood, which is again the 4th house, that gets illuminated, some ancestral patterns, the parental patterns that you kind of become more introspective on, think about, and change over the next 3 months in some way, because of the eclipse is active for 3 months. It's kind of like a cleanse of the ancestral baggage here, that this full moon, which is about endings, completions, releasing, is with the South Node, that it wants to do this cleansing of ancestral ties, connections to the past, of your childhood, maybe releasing, forgiving, maybe stopping a pattern that is repeated in your family or ancestors, or finding out what this pattern is, becoming clear about it. And again, on the material level, it's more with real estate, home, place of living. But don't forget, all the time, Jupiter is direct and visible in your 1st house, so there's so much protection on you, no matter what is happening around the rest of the chart. There is another eclipse at the very end of the month on the 29th, again in your 11th house. You see how much it's pumping. This one is with the sun, so it's a solar eclipse with the moon, new beginnings, with the North Node, new beginnings. So first you do this reevaluation with the retrograde planets there of who you want in your life, your social environment, who you follow, who follows your clients or businesses, long-term goals and dreams that we talked about, or some corrections that you do. But then the solar eclipse, which is active for 6 months, starting from the end of the month or even the middle, tells you there'll be a new beginning there. So new friends can come over the next 6 months, new followers, new clients, new business strategies, new long-term goal plans and dreams, new membership to a society or a group of people that can in some way uplift you or help you achieve your social and economic goals. Because here in the 11th house, we don't do things alone. We need the opinions of others, we need the purchasing power of others, we need the approval of others, or the qualities and strength and support of others, like a your colleagues or group of people, or social activism for some of you if you want to achieve a goal of, I don't know, save the oceans, or a goal of change political regimes, or you might be very, so the crisis there can also be with such people because of ideology, because of beliefs, because of 11 houses to do with your social affiliations, who you want to be part of it. But then there is a restart as well. And for some of you, it can, this restart with the new moon eclipse can be like a new goal in life, new bonus that can appear, new source of income, because the 11th house is the income. First, you might rethink your current sources of income with Mercury and Venus retrograde there, and your financial gains, because it's a very financial house. And then over the next 6 months after that, this eclipse says there will be new ways to do things there, new ideas possibly. And of course, on the very last day of the month, on the 30th, something like that, Neptune is entering the 11th house again. Everything is happening in this 11th house, Gemini. Very visible house, very social house, but Neptune will stay there for 6 months this year. But after that, from 2026, for 13 years. So you'd only have once in a lifetime to have Neptune there in the 11th house. And you'll get a glimpse starting from April, let's say, into October 2025, what it is to have Neptune in the 11th. And what is the ultimate goal of Neptune? To transcend the limiting possibilities of that house. So you have certain ideas of what is possible to happen. We're talking about the 11th house, which is about your goals and dreams and how you can contribute to the world and the society and change the world. Maybe you think, oh, I can't change anything. What long-term goals and dreams? What do you mean? I'm in my 60s, want to retire or whatever. But Neptune comes there and makes the impossible possible. Gradually over 14 years, but Neptune is transcend your previous limiting state of beliefs, because Neptune is the planet of beliefs. And God wants to, for me, it's a higher vibration, not just of Venus, of Jupiter, because it rules a Jupiterian sign, Pisces. So believe the unbelievable in regards to your goals and dreams in life. This is what Neptune will ultimately wants to do, and will ultimately want you to transcend to a different social circle, to transcend to a more evolved spiritual social circle, and to contribute to the whole world and society in some way. When it's through the 11th house, it can give you a very important mission there to contribute to the whole world, to transcend your limiting beliefs about what is possible gainfully wise for you as well. And Neptune in the 11th can fulfill dreams like a miracle. I'm born with Neptune in the 11th with only trines, thankfully, but it's been a life of miracles for me. All my goals, actually, I never had even such high goals. They were I transcended all my goals and they happened. So it can be very helpful for you, but I speak way more in depth about Neptune in the 11th house and Neptune making transits from there, or Neptune making a sextile to your sun, moon, or ascendant in Gemini, or to any planet, squares, oppositions, anything that Neptune can do in my 5-hour webinar, which is only $20 discount for early bird purchases. Check it out. You can use it for the next 13 years. And you don't need to know any astrology. All you need to do is I'll explain to you how to see all the transits Neptune are gonna do for you. And there's no one that's not gonna feel Neptune. It will be either in a house for you and aspect sometimes 7, 8 planets over the next 14 years, sometimes 2 or 3 only, sometimes harmonious, sometimes not so many harmonious transits. And I give you real life examples, what has happened to people, what to expect, remedies, how to deal with it, how to be prepared, how to make the best of it. So Neptune can make its magic in your 11th house to fulfill your dreams and wishes. Because what is Neptune after all? It's a planet of dreams, going into a house of dreams, but not dreams where you sleep, but dream of something that will benefit many, that will help many, that will transform your life and social and economic status. So Enjoy. May the miracles start happening for you.